Hello fellow survivors and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be diving into the world of DayZ with the 1.25 Livonia update. I'm actually a long-term DayZ fan. I used to play it back when it was all the mod and a little bit when the game went standalone, but I haven't played it since. So I figured when I started to play the 1.25 Livonia update to give you my insights, as you might be also a returning player that hasn't played for a long, and these are the things that I've actually learned over the past few hours that I invested in the DayZ. So stick around, grab a beverage, and this will be the fun. So first off, like what I can tell you is consider playing on a community servers rather than the official ones. From my experience, if it's the first time you're playing, they tend to have a little bit better loot spawns, which can make your survival journey a little easier, because the official ones are really hardcore. Those are tough as nails, and Livonia's map, I find it a little bit more difficult than the Chernarus, so I would say go with the community ones just to get that little extra edge to help you get back into the game. Speaking of survival, number 2, Livonia is a vast and spread out area. It's actually much more spread out than Chernarus, so be prepared for that. The locations are much more spread out, so you need to plan your trips carefully. Food and water can become an issue, as many other things that we're going to be touching. One important factor to consider in Livonia is the weather. The rain and cold can be deadly if you're not prepared. So do be sure to equip yourself properly before stepping into the vast openness that is Livonia. When first spawning into the game, people that tend to say the beginner areas doesn't have such good loot, etc. My recommendation is head to the nearest house or settlement to gear up. Probably you will find only scraps, but sometimes even those scraps can give you a warmer sweater that will help you against the cold, a raincoat or something of the food, or a well or a water pump. So that means this will play a huge role into your survival for the first few hours. So the environment and will be able to kill you much faster than any enemy player. I know people usually tend to avoid the first, town because there's lots of players there because it's starting area. But trust me when I tell you, the weather will kill you sure as a bullet. The player, maybe he misses. Alright, so navigating through Livonia can be very disorienting. There are lots of guides, yes, and I know that the river flows, that there's a river you can use as an orientation point, but unlike Chernarus, where you had the coast to orient against, Livonia can be a bit tricky. But you can use the river, as said, as a reference point, which one flows from west to east. And there are some major towns that you can use to equip yourself with. Also, next to it, there are railway tracks that are running on the south side of the river. So, if you find those, you can actually use them to get to any settlement that is along the river. Right. Last but not least, as a returning player, the crafting system was completely new to me, but it's a key to survival. Knowing what to combine with what, especially like essentials like campfire and cooking and, sharpened stick, can actually be a lifesaver. Especially if you want to craft that early on knife from the 2 rocks that you find. So you need to combine the 2 rocks or a rock with another rock, and you can actually craft a knife. And the knife is the main and most important tool that you can use. Lastly, your starting location often can be near a town which has a water pump. Trust me, make it use to your advantage. So, those are a couple of tips. I haven't played much more, so I don't have much more for you, but if you liked it, do be sure to like this video and subscribe for more survival game goodness. I've been Survival Joe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.